Hi, this is Zinga Hart with the No Eat Out November Challenge. So as you know, we are doing a month-long challenge where you take the next 30 days off of eating out, fast food, or restaurants, or prepared food items, and really focus on making food for yourselves and just not spending money to fast food places. So one of the things that we did last week was prep and really focusing on how we could prepare ourselves to have food on hand so we're not in a crave to run to a drive-through real quick. So I did shopping, especially for people who work 40 hours a week like I do, to always have like pantry, frozen, and other staple items on hand. So this week we're doing some. Me and my sister went to Nashville recently, so I was a little freaked out about not eating out on this trip, but I think I did really, really well. I didn't eat out at all, but one of the things that came up was, wanting to taste the food they're famous for. And Nashville is famous for Nashville hot chicken. So she went out and tasted it, and I said, you can taste it, but you could also just make it yourself. So I found a decent recipe on YouTube, and I made my own little tweaks to it. And so we're going to substitute buying out food for making that recipe yourself by making Nashville hot chicken while talking about other ways that you could sub food that you love. So I have prepared here. I've never worked in the kitchen before, so forgive me if the angle is a little off. But I have prepared here some chicken that I have soaking in like a milk hot sauce bath. It also has red pepper flakes, salt, garlic powder, and 1 egg, and it's been kind of soaking in that bath for about the past 2 hours or so. Then I also have here, hold on, let me grab my gloves. Then I also have here this flour mixture. So after you have, I have wings just soaking in this milk bath with the hot sauce, a little red pepper flakes, and other seasoning. And then we're at the point where we're getting ready to dredge our chicken and some flour. So what I have here is a little leftover pan, but I have flour, garlic powder, black pepper, onion powder, red pepper flakes, and some salt. So one of the things that I did differently was, so I'm going to mix this up really quick. One of the things that I did differently was soaking my wings in a saltwater bath previously the night before. The only reason why that I did this was because we didn't have milk, so I had to buy milk in the morning. I'm also using wings. Typically you might use a whole cut up chicken, but I just want something that's a little quicker and easier to eat. So what we're going to do is double dredge this, and so that means that we're going to take our chicken out of the milk bath here, drop it into the flour. We're going to use our dry hands to do that, put it back in the milk bath, put it back into the flour, and then set it aside to fry later. And then we're going to set up the frying part. Right. So just to keep my hands clean, I have some gloves. So we're going to go ahead and take a piece of chicken, kind of dry it off a little, and then put it in this flour bath here. Try to keep one hand for wet and one hand for dry. And then we go ahead and shake it off as much as we can. Put it back into this milky bath here. And then go ahead and just drop it back in our flour. So that's what we want. That's the process for getting these wings, which we are going to fry up in a bit. So make sure you cover the whole thing. Looking good. You can cut the tips off. I just didn't really feel like it. And then we're going to put it on this pan here. So we take our wet chicken, put it in the flour, dredge it with our flour hand. Make sure we cover that all. And then go ahead and put it back in the milk mixture. Dip it, dip it, dip it. And then go ahead and put it back in the flour and really get that covered. I really like to work with gloves here because this could get pretty messy. And I'm going to be touching the camera in a bit. So you just go ahead and do that same process for all the chicken. I'm going to go ahead and get that done and then set up to show you the frying part. Alright. Alright y'all, so I'm getting ready to prepare the chicken that we have all prepped over here. Two of them look different because I wanted to see what it would be like if we tried panko sauce on it. I'm also getting started on the sauce that we're going to use to cover our chicken over here. So I have some butter going, and what we're going to do is get ready to drop our wings into this hot oil mixture. We do the fat side down and just kind of have those tails sticking up, see if they cook the fastest. So you want to kind of get them in there quickly so that they're all cooking around the same time. You might have to do this in batches if there's not enough space for all your wings. Don't overcrowd the pan. So while I got this in here, just really consider, what are those fast food cravings that I always have, that I always need to get? I know wings are a big one. You'll always find me at like our local place called Social Aid or some other wing spot, Mustard Seed, trying to get some wings. Just because it's a lot of work. But you know, if you take the time to do this, it should take about an hour or so to make everything, not including the prep time. So for our sauce, we have our butter going, and then we're going to add a shit ton of hot sauce into that butter, about a little over half a cup. And then we also have this mixture of brown sugar, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, I already said garlic powder, onion powder, a little touch of sage, and then we're going to also add some red pepper flakes in there, just to give it that kick of spice that we're looking for. Now this is Nashville hot chicken. It's meant to be spicy, so don't be afraid to add that. Alright, then our chicken wings are going to cook for about maybe 5 minutes per side, maybe up to 12 minutes total, so you might want to flip it a couple of times. And then our sauce is going to cook for about another 5 minutes, and I'll show you the final prep for putting it together. Alright, so the last piece is definitely going to be taking our sauce and just pouring it over our chicken, and then just kind of spreading it like so. I do not have a brush. If you have a brush, I encourage you to use it. But if you don't, you know, just go ahead and use your fork. Just spread it over your cooked chicken like so. Try to get all those nooks and crannies, but save enough for all your chicken. And if you need more sauce, make more sauce. But other than that, you are good to go with your Nashville hot chicken. Now we're going to see what my sis thinks of it while I make the rest of this dish.